We think that when you really, really know that each new preference, whether you speak it or not, is understood and answered by all that is, we think then we will hear a resounding, yes, we are adoring the evolution of our desire. Because when you come to realize that as your environment helps you to conclude your ever new preference, and Source hears it and adoringly responds to your important perspective, then there's no more angst, then there's no more frustration. The comparison of your life doesn't beat up on you. The comparison of your life thrills you and calls you forward. In other words, if you are looking at your own experience in relationship to someone else's, and you see them enjoying something that you currently are not enjoying, maybe they have glorious health, or maybe they are excited about life, or maybe they have some new house, or some new relationship, or some great job. Maybe they have something that, as you in this moment are noticing it, the comparison between what you are living and what you are seeing someone else live makes you feel the birthing of a new clarifying desire within you. And as that desire is born, in your absolute knowing that when you ask it is given, now you are blessing this one for helping you to give birth to this new desire. Now you are adoring the stimulation of thought that has happened to you. Now you are like the children you see, feeling the freshness of the new desire with no resistance. Because in your knowing that when you ask it is given, you're just almost in the same way that you are looking at a menu in a wonderful restaurant or looking through beautiful items in a clothing store. It is all there for your choosing. It's just a matter of you identifying it, achieving vibrational harmony with it, and then living it fully. But if you don't understand that you get to want, and that wanting is answered, and that your work is only to achieve vibrational alignment with your own desire, then we can understand how your own desires sometimes can beat up on you pretty good. In other words, you could see someone living glorious wellness, and in your not feeling so good, you might feel less than happy at the glorious wellness that they are living. But if you find yourself feeling jealous or frustration or anger because someone is living something that you are not living, those emotions that feel like negative emotion are your indicator that you're not a match to your own desire. They've helped you to achieve a new desire by flaunting their well-being. But if you are not lovingly embracing their success, if you are not joyful in their well-being, and at least hopeful for your own, then you've got a pattern going that's going to keep you from living it for a while. We call this gathering the art of allowing, and what it really means is the art of understanding the vibrational content of my own desire and working so that I match it more of the time. Because when you are more of the time matching the vibrational content of your own desire, nothing can keep you from living it fully. If there is anything that you desire that you are not living fully, it is because you are more often focused upon something other than the vibration of your desire, which in most cases is you're focused upon the opposite of the fulfillment of your desire. And usually that happens because you are like so many physically focused humans. You are so aware of what is that it gets an inordinate amount of your attention. There's something about this physical time-space reality that makes you think that what is, that the manifestation is the main event. And so, in fact, we notice that you like it so much that you take great pains to document it historically. Not only are you talking about everything that is, whether you want it or not, but you often find yourself regurgitating what has been, whether you want it or not, as if anything that is manifested is so important that it deserves your undivided attention. And we say, in order to sort of sort this out, we would like to help you to recall that, here's a good way of looking at it. What would you choose? Something that feels good or something that feels bad? Of course. What a silly question, Abraham. Of course you would choose something that feels good. And would you choose something that is true or something that is false? Well, if you put it that way, I've been taught to choose that which is true. That which is true surely should be chosen above that which is false. And then we say, well, would you choose something that is true or something that feels good? Well, you're very wise. Because when you choose what feels good, you always choose what aligns with your desire and what aligns with that which is your source. The reason that we offer this question is because even though many of you say, well, I would choose what feels good, you don't do it all that often because you have been oriented to focus upon what is, as if your objectivity is necessary. I have to tell it like it is. I would not want to deceive anyone. And we say, the problem with a creator who tells it like it is that you keep creating more of what is. So, if you are going to be a creator who tells it like it is, please make this one strong determination. I'm going to tell it like it is as long as what is feels good when I tell it. In other words, we are not encouraging you to make a new decision, I'm going to lie. But we would not put it in terms of whether I'm lying or telling the truth. If we were standing in your physical shoes, we would put it in terms of this thing that I'm focused upon and therefore activating and therefore setting up as my vibrational point of attraction. Is it something that when it comes, and it will if I keep this up, I'm going to embrace it joyfully? And if it is, then keep looking at it, keep talking about it, keep telling it like it is. But if you are telling something like it is that you are not wanting to repeat into your future experience, and you feel that negative emotion that is always there when you are telling something like it is that you don't want, then please hear the message, please hear the vibrational guidance system that was within you, and stop in the middle of telling it like it is and fib a little. Say something like, well, this is how it has been, but this is not how I choose it to be, and this is not how I think it will continue to be, and therefore how it is less important than how it has been, because how it is becoming is different from how it is, because I am no longer focused upon that. Now that in and of itself won't get you very far. Because when you say, I'm not going to talk about that anymore, you're still talking about it. When you say, I'm never going to do that again, you're doing it again. When you say, I'm never going to eat that, someone will put it in your hand next time you turn around. When you say, I'm not going to do something, you are going to do it, because when you say you're not going to do it, it's active in your vibration. You can't not do that thing you say you're not going to do. You can't not do it. Because in your attention to what you're not going to do, you've activated a vibration, and law of attraction is going to bring you impulses, evidences, more of what it is. You're going to do what you said you're not going to do. You are. You can't help it. Law of attraction is very powerful. So how do I not do what I don't want to do? Don't think about it. Don't talk about it. Don't beat that drum anymore. Don't beat the drum of what you're not going to do. Beat the drum of what you are going to do. So as you begin saying, all right, I sort of get that. This is an attraction-based universe, and inclusion is the order of the day. So if I look at this thing that I do not want and I say, I do not want you, I'm still including it in my vibration. It is still part of my point of attraction. If I see this thing I do want and I say, yes, I do want you, I'm including that in my vibration. So what the art of allowing really is, it's deliberately cleaning up your vibration. It's vibrating on purpose. It's no longer carrying on the heritage of how somebody vibrated and showed me how to vibrate. In other words, that's sort of like deciding that you are no longer going to be the one that perpetuates the family grudge. which incidentally can make a really big mess. It's what's happening in the Middle East. It's nothing more than a grudge, a historical grudge that keeps being activated generation after generation to continue to mess up the current experience when those participating have no real connection to where it began. They don't even know where it started. So what we're encouraging you to do is to say, okay, I'm going to be a deliberate creator. I'm going to offer a vibration purposefully. I'm going to activate on purpose. We have endless processes that we offer toward that end, and every one of them is only to help you to vibrate more in harmony with who you really are. In the same way that you could not set your radio dial on 98.6 and hear the music that is being broadcast on 101 FM, you cannot focus upon something that you're living and get something different. Can't be. Law of attraction is talking about vibrational equivalency. It's talking about achieving vibration. It's talking about setting your tuner for transmitters that are transmitting. And you know what's really interesting about this is that every thought that has ever been thought is transmitting at some level. And law of attraction brings those things together that are similar. So there are some pretty big towers out there that are transmitting some pretty big messages. And depending upon where you've got your tuner set, you might pick up on them. You could set your tuner for illness. And you say, now, how would I do that when I don't want to be ill? Why, I wouldn't set my tuner to illness. And we say, do you ever talk about it? Do you think about it? Do you find yourself worried about it? Esther was laughing hysterically last evening. She had the television on for a little while, and she began counting the medical commercials. She could hardly believe it. She could hardly believe how sure they all are that you all are really sick. And then she said, do you think they really think we've got that, or do you just think that they think that the power of suggestion might make us buy it? And we say, we don't think it makes any difference. The only thing that matters is how do you feel when you see it. If it's humorous to you, then no problem. If you're rushing out and buying that stuff, then there may be some activation within your vibration that may diminish your well-being just a little bit. But there are all kinds of things being transmitted, not only through your airwaves that you call television and radio, but through thoughts. There are currents and rivers, streams of consciousness that you may tap into if you give your attention to it. Nothing to worry about, because anything that is affecting you in any way, you're having an emotional response to. So if you say, nothing is more important than that I feel good, what you're saying is, I'm going to feel my way into vibrational alignment. If you say, I've been mad at this person for 20 years, we say, then you are using some very old grudge as an excuse to diminish your well-being now. If you say, oh, I've always worried about that, then we say, that's not serving you at all well. And if you say, but I have a big reason to worry, these are the evidences that make me justified in this worry, we say, we are certain you are justified, but it is still not a good